What is it that people like Joe Dispenza, neurologists and scientists, don't know about manifesting?
It's going to take them decades to catch up what we know as psychics. Decades.
When you say launch to the public, it's like Hollywood's best kept secret.
Katt Williams. Everyone knows Katt Williams.
He's the one that said that. Like, this was going to be the year of revelations, and there's a lot of things that are coming out.
People ain't seen nothing yet. There's going to be more coming out. You will find psychics who operate from a place of ego. Look, if someone's spiritual, doesn't necessarily mean that they are good people.
So what is manifesting from your perspective, from a psychic's perspective?
Those thoughts that carry the most emotion are sent to the non-physical dimension. Who has access to that dimension? Oh yeah, Diany was on 50 Cent music video as well. Check that out, guys. Check it out. And that's something that I told her. I told her that.
She did. 50 Cent posted me on his Instagram.
I have 21 questions for you.
Hey guys, welcome to Manifest with the Medium. It's Diany. Today I'm here with Annie.
Hey guys, I'm Annie from Manifest with the Medium, and I'm joined here with Diany, one of my clients that I regularly read for.
I've known Annie for 3 years now. She knows a lot about me. I know a lot about her, but today we're going to be talking about manifesting, healing, inner work, and how to accomplish the goals that you want in life. So I know Annie, I've known her for a while now, so I'm not an expert at all, but because I know her and she's educated me a lot along the way, I can speak a little bit about the topic, but she is the expert. So we're gonna talk about everything and cover it and debunk a lot of things. So
Okay, where do you want to start?
where should we start? Okay, so maybe we should talk a little bit about yourself.
So guys, I'm a psychic. I'm a medium. Yeah, I created a platform called Manifest with the Medium, which was last year, launched to the public. And what I did was I gathered the best of the best in terms of psychic abilities. So you can almost call it like X-Men. And what we do is we have our own portfolio of clients that we work with, and they range from athletes, billionaires, tycoons, talent, celebs, you name it, right? Because all of them do have their psychic manifestation teams. So what I did was launched it to the public. And, you know, when you're having a reading, you know, Diany, right? You're asking a psychic, you're asking for the insight, the navigation. What I wanted to do was bridge the gap as to how people can manifest from A to B using psychic insight. Now, that's something that's not really covered when it comes to manifesting talk. So a lot of people talk about the mind and the body, but not many people talk about the energy. And that's where the power comes from.
Okay, and that's where the experts come in.
Yeah, that's when we come in.
Perfect. So the first question that I wanted to ask you was what you're currently working on. And when you said launch to the public, what exactly does that mean? So before you were just doing celebrities and athletes?
Yeah, so what I mean by launch to the public was I wanted to bring the education and the insights for the public. Yeah, there's certain things that the public doesn't know that what you see public stars knowing. So I wanted the public to get behind their manifesting state, have that edge.
Right.
So some of the projects that I'm working on is I'm currently working with this tycoon. He's expanding his business. He's based in the UAE. He's expanding his business out to the States. So obviously he's using my psychic insight. He's looking at his desires, looking at how he's going to, you know, navigate his state towards achieving the ultimate desire. So that's what I do. That's my profession. But in terms of bringing stuff to the public, it's getting your soul vibration raised, getting your energy scanned, reprogramming the mind. You know, we are not therapists. People need to understand that. We work on a higher advanced level as psychics. So it's about fast tracking your spiritual evolution, but also perfecting your manifesting state.
Right, so using your psychic abilities to get them where they want to be.
Correct, yeah.
And when you say launch to the public, it's like Hollywood's best kept secret.
Yeah,
Not
you
to
can
the
say that.
public.
Yeah, you can say that.
Perfect. Okay, so what is manifesting from your perspective, from a psychic's perspective?
Manifesting is you have 70,000 thoughts in a day. Those thoughts that carry the most emotion are sent to the non-physical dimension, which is the spiritual realm. Who has access to that dimension? Psychics, mediums. How much energy they can download from that desire is all dependent upon how much energy that psychic has. So what I mean by downloading the information, it could be the names, events, certain things to look out for, what spiritual laws govern that manifestation as well, because it's all right having a desire, but what actual govern, which spiritual laws are you going to end up violating, what you need to be careful of, how you can tweak your manifesting state, how you can fast track the manifestation, just to get that edge. That's what manifesting is from a psychic's perspective.
So when you say breaking manifestation laws or like these psychic laws, what are some of those laws?
So you've got law of karma, law of cause and effect. Yeah. You've got the law of attraction as well. So each manifestation is governed by the 12 spiritual laws. So let's say, for example, you have a desire of manifesting a very rich guy. I want a rich guy. I want him.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I want stability. I want him to be rich. Okay. We did a reading on this actually when I first met you. So in that reading, what did I pick up? His name, what he looked like, which state he was from. I said, okay.
What car he has,
where
he lives.
So
what he looked like, his name.
He came into your physical reality when you were vibrationally ready to match him. You dated him 3 months.
Dating is a loose. We say dating loosely, not officially, but yes, I met him.
Yeah, but what did you learn from meeting him?
What I learned from meeting him, I feel like I did manifest him. I knew what I wanted. He checked all of the boxes of what I wanted financially, physically, his career. We had a connection physically.
Yeah.
But he was more of a lesson for me.
Okay. And what lesson did you learn?
The lesson that I learned in that situation is personal. It's really personal. We'll get deep. What I learned is I feel like I was looking in a mirror. So there were qualities about him that I did not like. Controlling, jealous, a little bit possessive. But what I realized was that I myself have those qualities. So
that's what people need to know.
Yeah.
When you are manifesting a specific person or a love or a relationship,
you.
Yes.
Especially when you're not ready.
Everyone around you is you pushed out.
Yeah. So yeah, he was me pushed out because we weren't in a relationship. So I felt like he couldn't check me. Like, why are you asking me about who I'm with? But I was doing it to him. Yeah. And I was doing it to partners that I had before. So it forced me to look in a mirror and say, why am I so triggered by him? Why do these things bother me so much? And it's because I had those behaviors. I had to work on those behaviors. Or when he would be like obnoxious or say certain things, I'm like, why does that piss me off so much? And it's like, maybe because I can be a little asshole and obnoxious and a dick sometimes. And I need to work on that. And even though we had this strong connection, it doesn't mean that he was for me. Because at the same time, I have to work on myself. He has to work on himself. And I don't think he's really ever going to get to that point anytime soon. Yeah. So yeah, I had to let it go. But we were very, very similar, like scary.
So imagine if you didn't identify that, you didn't change anything about yourself. Do you think you would have attracted the same man over and over again, the same lesson?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what majority of people are in. They're in the same shit, same cycle over and over again. So when you are manifesting, it's always about you upgrading yourself,
the inner work.
Yeah. No guy's going to stick around when the woman's been a bitch, you know? Like a guy wouldn't want a girl that's always constantly seeking attention. He's going to get really pissed off. He's like, what the fuck is this? Right? So what the girl needs to understand is, in that scenario, is why is it that I am wanting that attention? What is it that's lacking in me that I'm seeking the validation from a man? And then I'm telling you, that poor bastard ain't going to stick around. I see it a lot. You know, when I'm doing readings with like the men, there's one gentleman at the moment, I'm working through it and he's like, I want to break up with her. I was like, okay, well, you're in this situation because, you know, you manifested it, but you're just leading her on. It's like you telling her, eat all the cakes you want and you won't drop, you know, you'll be skinny. Or some girls will be.
Not me. I ate cake last night.
He's leading the girl down a rosy path.
Yeah, for sure. He's leading her on.
And what men don't understand is when you lead women on, by the time the universe delivers what it is that you desire, but you know what? Law of karma, mate. You might end up fucking it up. She might end up going with someone else. You're going to experience that heartbreak because when you are pushing energy out where in that scenario, when you're dating someone and you're leading them on, where do you think that that energy has to go somewhere, right? You've broken her heart, but where's that energy going to go? It's going to come back to you. That's what you call law of karma.
I love that. I love karma because the guy we were talking about, he's experiencing that. I wanted to touch on something that you said with the same guy that we were speaking on before, thou who shall not be named. He
Voldemort.
Right. Another cycle that he's in and that I've realized and that I've told him before, and I've also noticed this because I work in nightlife and I'm around a lot of men that have money and that are very flashy. And I always attract that type of guy. These type of guys, they lead with their money.
Yeah.
So and he's one of those guys. Like when we met, I didn't even know he had money. I was at work. I was waitressing and he came in for a drink and I'm just like, whatever. And he was interested in me and I didn't even know. But he was always making it a point to reiterate that he was rich and he has this and he has that.
Yeah.
But then he also would complain about constantly dating women who are only using him for his money. So that's another aspect I feel of doing the inner work. It's like, you have to find out who you are. He doesn't even know who he is. He doesn't have a personality. He has no substance. Or maybe he does, but he hasn't found it. It hasn't come forward.
Yeah. So he's got all the money, but his state is really poor. Mentally, he's disturbed. Physically, he's not doing well. So what does all that money mean?
Right.
You know, is it in a state that's more wealthy? Is it your health that's more wealthy? Or is it just the money? That's what you'll find with some men as well. They will chase the money, but they will neglect their inner state.
100%.
So they will always attract superficial partners or people, always. But the interesting thing about superficial energy is when you are manifesting, it does not stick.
Yeah.
Manifesting from a place of authenticity is what sticks. Now, people don't know whether they're real or not because they have like beliefs, they have people's voices, people's opinions. So you need to learn to silence that. And that's why they say, try to meditate. Try to bring energy in, get to know you on a soul level. Because when your soul is pushed out and it's amplified, that's where the power comes in. That's where you find yourself attracting. That sticks.
Perfect. Okay, so we spoke a little bit about heartbreak and love and disappointing men. So when it comes to manifesting in love, what do people need to know?
Manifesting in love. So getting behind your authenticity, that's one. Sexual energy transfers, it's a real thing. I don't know if the public is ready to even hear some of this stuff, right? But when you have sex with someone and then they are not 100% in their vortex energy, and I'll come back to what that means in a moment, you can actually have some of that energy transferred to you. Right. So what do I mean by someone who's not 100% in their vortex energy? Now, we live in a world full of spirit. Me and you, we're spirit. We've connected by energy. You have spirit that doesn't have a physical form, but they still linger around. So when a spirit gets very attracted to a physical form, it becomes, attached. That's what they call negative attachments. Yeah. So when you're having sex, particularly if you don't know what's in their energy field, partially you're having sex with that spirit. Yeah. So it's always good, when you are seeking to manifest in love, have an energy scan, really raise your vibration, get your energy protected, your self protected, and just be very mindful who you have sex with, because nowadays people are carrying all sorts of shit. And it's like, you guys don't even know. They look pretty, they sound pretty, but nasty energy, just like your ex.
Which one? Because they're all the same. When you say that a negative spirit can attach to a physical spirit, are someone with a lower vibration, like someone whose energy is shit, are the negative spirits more likely to stick to someone who's vibrating at a low frequency?
No, regardless of whether you have high or low. But there's more chance of you getting an attachment based off of carrying a lower vibration. Yeah. And no spiritual protection.
Perfect. Yeah. What impact does heartbreak have when it comes to relationships?
Think of it like you're going to a supermarket, right? You're filling up your bags with all this emotion, all this crap. By the time you reach to the one, you've come with a load of baggage. That's what heartbreaks are. So if you don't resolve the energy, if you don't take out those heartbreaks out of those bags, then the one that you end up being with probably doesn't stick. because you're carrying triggers from like heartbreaks. You haven't healed. So healing is a big part when it comes to manifesting. You want the best of the best, right? So to have the best of the best, you've got to become the best of the best internally, not externally, not just that.
How do you know when, because I've encountered this myself, how do you know when you're ready to start dating someone else? How do you know when you're fully healed, or how do you just know that your baggage is not there? When baggage.
When you're not in a place of seeking validation from others, when you're comfortable of going to a restaurant, sitting down, having a meal, and you're just not bothered by anyone else, or you're not concerned that you're there by yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not coming from a place of
lack, need, or want. You go from a place of desire. I desire a partner like this because he's going to add to the energy of what I already am. Yeah.
I also feel like there's also a misconception, or I feel like everyone is different in how much time it takes to heal and how much time in between. Do you think that there's a timeline, or it all depends?
I personally feel the timeline of how long it takes for someone to heal is based upon, if it comes to love and relationships, how much time they've consumed with that person. Because the longer you're in a, like, let's say, toxic relationship, the more likely you're going to pick up on their habits, and you're going to start developing triggers.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I base it on.
Would you say if, for instance, let's say I'm dating a new person, right?
Okay.
Just hypothetically speaking.
Yeah.
Let's say that I am starting to get triggered, or I see red flags. Is it possible that maybe those aren't exactly red flags and I'm just getting triggered from past events?
So if you don't resolve it from past events, those triggers, what ends up happening is that becomes a form of manifestation. Your trigger, you could actually manifest. If you're thinking, oh shit, he hasn't texted me. Oh my God, is he cheating? Oh my God, like I've had it before when the girls are on the call. They're like, oh my God, and he hasn't texted me. It's been 2 days. Oh, is he cheating? Is he cheating? I'm like, oh, get a grip, girl. Just because your ex cheated on you, you need to work on that trigger. But no, he's not cheating on you. But it ends up as a form of manifestation. I'm like, no wonder he's cheating on you, because you turned into a mad cow.
So I feel like with me, it's difficult because sometimes I don't know whether I'm getting, I don't know how to have like a happy medium. So sometimes if a guy isn't texting me, I could get triggered and be like, is he with someone else? What's happening? Does he not like me? But then also I feel like if a guy is consistent, I'm like, is he love bombing me? But I feel like that could also be just a trigger response, because I feel like that's a little bit of insecurity. It's like, well, like, what's so great about me? Why is he being so consistent? Because I'm used to guys not being consistent.
Okay. So go back and ask yourself, what's the story you tell yourself when it comes to love? What does love mean to you? Is love hard? Then guess what? You're going to attract something that's hard. If it's love beautiful, then you're going to attract something beautiful.
Right.
Go back to your story.
When you're ready to get that edge when it comes to manifesting, head over to www.manifestwiththemedium.com and have your vibration raised. You can use code Diany at checkout for a discount incentive. Well, I feel like it shouldn't be hard, and that's the thing. I feel like if I'm dating someone and it's not peaceful from the beginning, I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here, because love should not. It shouldn't. I know that there's things like that you have to work through, and little things can come up, but if it's just like, it's a feeling. If you're feeling like anxious, or you're just like in a state of like fight or flight, it's like, I'm like, I need to get the hell out of here.
Well, look at the 3D, right? Look at what we watch on TV, dramas. I've had ladies come to me that know more about Love Island than they know about their own lives. That's embarrassing, girls, by the way. But look at the drama. Look what you're distracted by in the 3D. That's going to form some form of story, right? So you need to be very wary. Manifesting is also about spiritually awakening as well. So we need to learn to spiritually wake the fuck up, because you can end up sabotaging your own manifestations.
Right. And I think self-awareness is very important, because some people they don't know that they need to change, or they don't realize that they need to change in order to get what they want. Their manifestations are coming through because they're not healed, but they don't even think that they need healing.
But when I've been in America, people have like, I don't know, people just say, oh, psychics are bad. Psychics are like this and it's against our religion. I'm like, well, hold on. Well, you know, your priest is out there, you know, I don't know, abusing children. Isn't that bad? You know, people pick and choose what they want to follow when it comes to religion. And the reason I'm touching upon this is because not all psychics are bad. Of course, you're going to have a dark side to the psychic world. You are. But there's a good side to the psychic world. I feel that people should, you know, just learn to tap in, because there's a reason why good psychics are here on Earth doing what we're doing, which is helping navigate people. That's our role.
I wanted to ask you a question now that you mentioned America, because you're from the UK.
Oh, yeah.
Do you, and you have a lot of clients in the UK and in America. Do you
More in the States and the UAE.
what have you like encountered when it comes to love and like hearing other people's experiences, the dating, like the difference between the UK and America?
The UK is fucking asleep. The UK is so spiritually behind. It's unbelievable. The US is more forward thinking, a bit too much, but this is where we probably need to bring a bit of education around it. Dating, don't know. I just think, honestly, I mean, the UK for me is slightly more backwards than it is than the US. The US is a bit more forward. Don't know what specifically around dating. Would you want to know? What?
I think dating is really hard in New York City.
Yeah, any city. Any city, it's going to be challenging and difficult. It is. It can be. But again, it comes down to the story that you tell yourself.
Right. If you're saying it's going to be really hard, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be so easy. I just have to keep saying that. Okay. I think we touched on this a little bit, but why is healing so important when it comes to love and relationships?
Yeah, because, you know, you want to be 100% in your vortex energy. You want to be vibrating at the highest vibration. Let's say, for example, a person is what we call a damaged soul. Yeah. And if they're damaged on a level, on a spiritual level, then what are they going to be attracting? So you've got to heal from within, heal from within and push yourself out. So your aura is just shining bright.
Right.
Yeah. There's a video on my TikTok that you guys can see, and you'll see me running, but you can see my aura just glowing. Yeah. And you can pick that up sometimes, and I can see that on you. And some people naturally have that clairvoyance about them where they can just see good energy. Yeah. So healing's really, really, don't mistake it. It's really powerful. But you know what? There's a lot of fake healers out there. There's a lot of fake healers, a lot of fake psychics that say they can heal you. But all they do is they just touch your outer layer of your auric field. That's all they do. Got a little bounce. That's it. But that's not healing. Reiki's kind of good. Reiki's good for a bit of trauma. But again, Reiki's not. It's so commercialized. Every Tom, Dick and Harry is doing fucking Reiki. But, you know, even with Reiki, you got to be careful. Because some of these Reiki people, you don't know what the fuck you're healing. Like, you think you're healing that person, but you're actually healing the little spirit that's just laying there.
You're stroking the spirit, and the spirit's still there. He's like, I'm having a drink in here. I'm good. That's funny. What signs and symbols work within manifesting? Okay. I feel like in recent years, manifesting is like a huge word. Everyone's throwing it around. There's a lot of content out there. And one of the videos that pops up a lot for me would be like signs that are telling you that your manifestation is on its way.
Yeah.
So are there signs, and what are those signs?
What, when it comes to love and relationships in particular?
Or career.
Okay. It could be a music lyric that randomly comes on a radio station. That's the most popular one. It could be seeing certain angel numbers like 1111 or 333. Yeah, they all carry a meaning. It could be, I don't know, it could be anything like, so if I validated in a reading, okay, watch out for this white feather, watch out for this day and this time, that's validation.
Okay.
Yeah. Because remember, when people are having readings with me on a psychic level, they're asking about a specific desire, something that they want to come in their physical reality. So it's my job to download the energy of it and say, right, this is the validations, what's currently happening. This is what you're seeking, but watch out for X, Y, and Z. So that ends up being like a sign and symbol. That's just reinforced. That's just the universe reinforcing that, hang on, we've received your manifestation. This is just a sign to say it's been acknowledged. I always call it like, you know, when you order a pizza and you send the pizza out. So before you send the pizza out, you want to choose the toppings,
Mm-hmm.
and that's your manifestation. Like, this is what I want. This is my list. And then you send it out, and what happens? It's delivered. So when it's delivered, the universe will deliver signs and symbols to say, okay, I've received it now in the non-physical dimension. Now it's off, your pizza's off for baking. So what happens is a bit of baking going on. So they're starting to build the energy up. And even your loved ones in spirit will help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll start baking the pizza, start baking that desire. And then from there, it's quality control. So what you'll find is, okay, what quality control means, what spiritual laws govern that manifestation. So your loved ones will either come down to a medium and say, okay, we know she's manifesting this, but she needs to watch out for X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's a bit of quality control there. Okay, perfect. Then it's out for delivery, and you see it in your physical reality.
Yeah, I've experienced it. Especially like when we had done a reading together at the end of 2022, and you told me that I was going to be on TV, which is something I've always said since I was a kid. My teachers would be like, what do you want to be? And I'm like, famous.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, for what? And I'm like, I don't know, because I don't have talent, but I'm going to be on TV. So when you said it to me, I feel like that was something that you knew that was inside of me that I had already said my whole entire life. And then when I got the opportunity to be on the TV show, and it was exactly what you said it would be, it was crazy because the casting was so close to my home.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like knew that this was where I was supposed to be. This is for me. This is what I'm supposed to do. And when I had went to film the show, the first day that I filmed, I was walking to Dunkin' Donuts because I go every day, and I saw a white feather, and you told me to look out for that. And I was walking there, and a white feather just came down on my path.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, when we were ready and we're going to the studio, one of my castmates, my grandma had passed last year, in the beginning of last year, and one of my castmates smelled exactly like my grandma, to where I got like a little emotional because I was like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
that smell like brought back a memory. And then during my time filming the show, I just knew like this is where I'm supposed to be. Sometimes it felt kind of like, I don't want to say an out of body experience, but it felt like it wasn't even real.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, and I didn't really get nervous on TV because I was just like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I got those validations that you said I would.
It's like Denzel Washington, right? So just go back to that, right? Your loved ones in spirit, everything you do here, every energy, every spiritual energy you accumulate here gets passed down, right? So Denzel Washington, in an interview with Oprah, he said he was in the hairdressers with his mother, and there was a lady from the church, and she was giving prophecy about Denzel Washington, right? And what you'll find in that interview is that I think it was his grandma that said that she used to pray for him. You know, pray for the well-being, his success, his abundance. And look at that, it's paid off. So when she went into spirit, you know,
everything just
they still look after you. Yeah, they still look after you. They haven't gone. They just lost the physical form, but they will dip in and out vibrationally.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I also go through periods where I feel like I get a lot of signs at once, and it's like back to back. I'll see numbers, I'll see feathers, I'll see things that remind me of my grandmother, her smell, other family members of mine that have crossed over. And then there's other periods where I just feel like, where is everyone? You know?
Yeah.
So is that like a normal thing to go through long periods where it's just like life is just
No, that's just
very monotone?
You need to be in that space to find your authenticity. Remember, voicing out people. It's a very lonely journey. Not many people can actually do it. They say they want to do it, but it's actually very lonely to begin with. But then when you reach that stage, it's like, wow, everything in my physical reality is a form of abundance. It just naturally comes. It's a beautiful place to be in.
I love the signs. I always take pictures of 222, 333.
Oh yeah, definitely journal it. Yeah.
How do dreams play a role in manifesting?
So when your pizza is out and it's in quality control, so your loved ones know what your desire is and it's sent out, sometimes they would deliver certain visions, clairvoyance, that you'll be able to see way ahead of time. They will show you in dreams. Even at times, they will take you to certain places for you to see something. And it's like, do you ever have that deja vu feeling like, oh, I've been here before? Well, you probably have when you were sleeping and your spirit traveled. But that's how dreams play a part.
Exactly a year before I was on the TV show, I had a dream that I was watching myself on TV and I saw myself from the outside. So it was like me looking at the TV.
Yeah.
Like me, looking at myself on the TV. It was like crazy. But I had that dream and it just felt significant. So I wrote it down. And exactly a year later, I was doing that.
Yeah.
I had filmed the show. It was live TV. I was filming every day. And I would watch myself that night on TV. And exactly what the dream was, that's what I was doing.
Yeah. So that's your loved ones just reinforcing, okay, we've got your desire. Don't worry, we've got your back. We're going to show you. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's beautiful.
Are you wondering if your love connection is a karmic lesson or if it's a spiritual connection? Head over to www.manifestwiththemedium.com to get insight from top psychic experts. You already touched on this, like the song lyrics, like that can be a sign. What role does music play when it comes to manifesting?
I don't know. You have to be careful with music, you know, because if you don't see, this is like some stuff. This is. I don't know how much I should cover when it comes to music, guys. Certain lyrics, again, it's just reinforcing perhaps a desire that you have. But with music, you have to be careful with some of the frequency that they use
That are tied to the music.
To the music. So if music carries a higher frequency when it's just about sets. Yeah. If you don't control your chakra, so your sacral chakra, right? What happens is the vibration will hit and it goes into overdrive. You know, when you go clubbing and like people just like, oh, I feel horny. Like I'm dancing to this music. No, actually it's the frequency of the bloody music that's hitting a whole overdrive in your sacral chakra. So you're like, oh, I'm feeling it. You know, so it's all based off like lust. Yay. Yeah. But music can be good for manifesting the lyrics, but sometimes some music can be really bad for your manifesting states. You got to be careful what you listen to.
I'm laughing because I've been listening to Sex With Me by Rihanna on repeat. So when you said sex, I'm like...
Well, you're just reinforcing it, right? And plus you don't know what kind of frequency and hertz music they're using. Some of it's quite dark, guys, but some of it's okay.
I think Sex With Me is okay because she says sex with me is so amazing. I feel like that's like a positive thing. You
That's
know,
like an affirmation.
Right.
Yeah, it's an affirmation.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, it's an affirmation. Yeah.
Do you use music when you want to manifest things? And what do you listen to?
Me. Umbaya. Yeah, I do actually. I do listen to a bit of music. I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite artists? I know a few.
Oh. Don't know, with everything that's coming out with Puff Daddy. I'm like, oh, do you know, it's crazy because I actually gave a reading in 2021 to this host that came to me, and I said to her, watch out for 2024, think about Puff Daddy, and she was like, okay, I'll hold off, but she listened to me. But I don't want to name some artists yet because there's more to come out with stuff about that, so I don't want to know. I don't want to name anyone. No one's my favorite.
They keep saying this is the year of revelations. Does that have anything to do with like the planets or?
Right. Katt Williams. Everyone knows Katt Williams.
He's the one that said that. Like this was going to be the year of revelations, and there's a lot of things that are coming out aside from like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things coming out even next year. People ain't seen nothing yet. You watch till next year, September 2025. There's going to be more coming out. But with Katt Williams, it's interesting because when I saw his podcast on Shay Shay, I was like, yeah, he's a guy that's very spiritual, carries good spiritual energy. You know, he's a clairvoyant. He's got clear sight of seeing. He's very well gifted. I do like Katt Williams.
I feel like I see that in him too. I feel, and Monique had said this about him. It's not the message, it's the messenger.
Yeah.
So I feel like people don't take him exactly too serious because he's a comedian, but his
no, he is smart. Katt Williams is smart. He's brainy, he's smart. I do psychically, if I look at him, I'm like, I would love to learn the comedian side of things because I would love to do like live psychic shows, but just add a bit of humor and like comedy side to it. But no, he's really smart. He's one that's really awakened.
I feel I've noticed that, not you obviously, but there's like psychics out there that are a little bit like off their rocker. When I say that, because I met a psychic one time when I was on vacation. I was at the club. He randomly came up to me and just started telling me things that were spot on, but he was just like a little crazy. Like he was on some substances. I feel like some people that have these abilities are more likely to go off the deep end at times because they don't know how to manage their like intuition and their psychic abilities.
Yeah, so you will find psychics who operate from a place of ego. Look, if someone's spiritual, doesn't necessarily mean that they are good people, because you can also be spiritual and be a bad person.
Yeah.
So same way applies to psychics. The psychics out there who carry a lot of ego, but when they carry ego, ego stands for edge God out. So you're not operating on a higher vibration. You're not doing it for the highest good. So what happens over time is that the universe dilutes their ability. So when I was doing some readings, I had psychics coming to me because they abused their power, they abused their energy, they couldn't see clearly. I'm like, yo, that's down to your shit. That's not me. I'm not giving you my sight. Yeah. But you have to be careful when it comes to certain psychics. Yeah.
I know there's psychics that work with negative energies. There's also psychics that like to pull energy from others.
Yeah. So that's like, so if a psychic's reading you and you're feeling absolutely drained, you've got to know that they're actually using your energy to read off you, which is highly unethical.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? You're meant to be feeling uplifted, healed, with a sense of direction, guidance. Yeah, but there's some psychics that really do operate like that, yeah.
Yeah, I've felt that before. I met you at a bookshop, and you're no longer there. But since then, since you're in the UK, I had popped in there one time and I had a conversation with one of their readers, and it just did not sit well in my spirit.
Yeah.
I just felt like this is not for me because I felt the energy. And
yeah. No, you have to be careful. Some psychics will actually pull off someone else's energy just to accumulate more energy.
She was like looking into my soul, but in a wrong way.
Wrong way. Yeah.
Like,
I know who she is.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, this is like Ursula and like Ariel when she like sucks the soul out of her. I was like, hell no, I'm out of here. I'm sticking to Annie. Are you looking to manifest a specific person? Someone that you desire? Head over to www.manifestwiththemedium.com and subscribe to stay updated on events and get that edge. How can one manifest their perfect job, career, or profession?
It comes down to what it is that you desire. What's your vision? A really good psychic is able to see a bigger picture or a bigger plan for you than what you can see. Yeah. So when it comes to your career or any form of progression, I would say start with basics and just write down a list of what it is that you are seeking, what's your actual desire, and work towards that. But it's also good to get some guidance around it because a psychic knows you far better than you know yourself. Because remember, your soul knows you far better than you know yourself. So who can look into the energy? You know, a really good ethical psychic. You know, there's been times where clients have said to me, Annie, you know, I'm looking for this progression. I'm like, are you sure you want that? Because your manager's a bit of an asshole, right? Are you sure? She's like, yeah. Are you sure? She's like, yeah. So she ends up manifesting it, and then she finds out that manager is an asshole. So I'm like, you know, so you can take the guidance, get the guidance around what it is that you want to be achieving, what your desire is, and just take that spiritual wisdom. There's no harm in it.
I feel like when it comes to career also, obviously you believe in having a limitless mindset. So any career that you want, you can achieve that. And there's steps to achieve whatever goal that you want. But I also feel like, again, with like the signs and manifesting, sometimes, at least for me, I feel like when I want something and it comes easy, not obviously we put in work and we want something, but when it's just coming to you, and it's just like, why does this keep coming back to me? Why do I keep getting these opportunities? I feel like that's when I know, like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But how do you get to that place where you know how to navigate and how to know when something's for you and when something's not for you.
I think if I go back to myself, right? So I graduated from university. I was in and out of jobs. It wasn't sticking. I'm like, well, okay, what the fuck's going on? Then I took my psychic insight, my guidance. The medium says you're a medium. I'm like, oh, okay, holy shit, I've got to do this work. And this is the only thing that's sticking. So an opportunity that comes is one that sticks and makes you happy and it doesn't feel like work.
And it doesn't drain you.
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect.
That's why awakening is so important, because there's people out there in jobs and they're drained, but
And
they're
you're not even supposed to be there.
And you're not awake. That's quite sad.
What is it that people like Joe Dispenza, neurologists and scientists, don't know about manifesting? These experts that go online and they give information, what is it that they don't know about manifesting? Or what is it that they're leaving out?
It's going to take them decades to catch up what we know as psychics. Decades. One thing that they don't know, they talk about higher vibration in the physical body. Ultimately, that's good for manifesting, gives you more power when it comes to manifesting. That is correct. There's a lot of myths that go around about how to raise your vibration. You know, you can wear a bangle, you carry a crystal. You got to be careful with some crystals because they do carry some bad energy. But anyways, there's certain myths going around. Your vibration, your soul is energy, carries a vibration. The psychics that we have, the actual spiritual masters, they have abilities to be able to raise the vibration within the body. The same way they have the ability to go into the energy field and remove energy that shouldn't be there. Yeah. So to raise a vibration, it's actually a supernatural ability to have that, that is done. And also, when Abraham Hicks talks about being 100% in your vortex energy to be able to manifest, what a lot of people ain't even in their 100% in their vortex energy. So how are they manifesting? What place are they manifesting from? They're manifesting from a place where they're influenced by spirit that should not be in your vortex energy. Are you manifesting from a place where, you haven't really removed any energy residue that you've caught from sexual energy transfers? Like, that is like in-depth knowledge. I'll give you an example, right? So there was a couple that was married for 8 years. She'd been trying for a baby. The doctor said to her, I'm sorry, I don't see you having kids. She did IVF, didn't work. So when she came to us, we did an energy scan. We found out she had energy that was attached to her. Yeah. So when energy is attached, it can block off certain things, finances, fertility, it can affect your mental health, whatever. So when we stripped that energy off, a month later, she got pregnant. She went back to the doctor and the doctor's like, how did this happen? How did this happen? That's just one case. There's loads. Yeah. I mean, I'm coaching a psychiatrist, a psychiatrist. You're meant to know some of this stuff, but why am I coaching someone that's a psychiatrist? Why do I have clients that are psychologists or mental health doctors? Why? If they're so good at their profession, why? Because, they still need to spiritually evolve. So that's another advice that I would give to people. When you go to any doctor, any attorney, anyone seeking mental health, any issues that you're experiencing, any psychologist, always get the energy scan, because what you don't want is sitting opposite to someone who is not even seeing clearly, they're influenced when it comes to the energy, because it's all about energy transfer. You're sitting here with me, it's energy transfer. So I would say it's the same with therapy. It's therapy as well. It's so huge in the US. A lot of people have therapists. And then when I'm connecting to a client, I'm like, you've been to this therapist for years and nothing's changed? Boy, you need to change your therapy. You need to change her.
Mm-hmm.
The energy's not good. You're not spiritually evolving. Where are you going? Speaking to her, sitting down, and she's just listening to you, and you're paying her $200 an hour. You might as well just give that $200 to charity. How are you evolving? So I always say to them, okay, change your therapist, go for this one. Oh, what do you think about this one, Annie? Oh, yeah, this is the energy. She's really good. She's more spiritually evolved. Don't listen to her. She's coming from a place of lack. She's been through heartbreak. You won't get far from, having that insight will give you an edge.
Good. I agree. And I think that, especially because it's a relationship, you have a relationship with your therapist.
Yes.
So, and I'm lucky because when I was going to therapy, my therapist, she was great.
Yeah.
Like the first one I ever had. But I also feel like it is that feeling because it's a relationship. You're seeing this person on a regular basis. How do you feel when you're around that person?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like that's how you shouldn't even be seeing that therapist.
And how much are you evolving?
Right.
Yeah. Because if you're going to a therapist and nothing's changed in your life, then you need to switch your therapist.
I feel like a good therapist is like wise and gives you wisdom, because there's things she said that I still carry with me and that I still remember.
Yeah. You're only as good as your teacher.
Tomorrow never comes. That's what she told me years ago. And I think about that all the time. It's like we're saying, oh, it's going to happen tomorrow. But we have to do it today.
Yeah.
Because you keep saying tomorrow. Tomorrow's a month from now.
Yeah.
I haven't folded my clothes for 2 weeks. I keep saying tomorrow. So they're sitting on the chair. I move them from the chair to the bed, back to the chair. So when you do energy removal, what does that look like? If someone's coming to you, they're like, you do an energy scan, they have something on their energy, you identify that. What steps are you taking to remove this? How does that work?
So when it comes to energy removal, what people need to understand is that there's only a handful of people who are willing to do it, because it's dangerous, it's risky. It's like you're entering into a war zone and you don't know what spirit, what jinn, what dark energies attached to it. It's dangerous. You're going into a war zone, basically, right? So a lot of people out there say they will do the removal, but in fact, they don't fucking do it. And we've had so many cases. Up to date from last year, we've probably done over 980 fucking cases. Energy removal worldwide, regardless of whatever religion you're from. Religion does not play a part in it. We've done that many cases.
Are you feeling like you're going around in the same circles? You might be experiencing sleep paralysis, PTSD, and some depression. If you're worried about your energy, you can have an energy scan and head over to www.manifestwiththemedium.com to have one of our top 1% psychics scan your energy.
What does it look like? It's technical. It's a technical skill. I personally do not do it because it's disgusting. It's a technical skill, but the people who have done it through our platform, 100% customer satisfaction. They never had to touch their energy again. No one's ever had to say to them that had to do their energy work again. It's all done. And that's what we pride ourselves in. Of helping people one time, whereas you'll find other people who will just remove and say, come back to me if it happens again and I'll charge you again. We don't do that.
Well, that's what you were saying earlier, where there's psychics that will stroke the negative.
Stroke it. Some of them stroke it. Some of them push it away and then it comes back again. We've had people from all religions. Religion doesn't play a part in it.
So when you do the vibrational work, so when you're working with someone who wants to raise their vibrations, what does that look like? So is it meditation?
No. So when we're doing any form of energy work, we do it remotely, because the people on this platform have the power to be able to connect to an energy regardless of wherever you are. So when it comes to vibration, the highest vibration your body can take is 997 hertz. And that is done in 3 stages, because there's only so much vibration that we can raise within your body. So it's done in 3 stages with like 8-week gap in between minimum. And the first stage is 549 hertz, 749 hertz, and 997 hertz. That is it. That's your vibration done. And on top of that, you do the auric field repair. So you're nice and solid, you're glowing, protection, and you're done. That's it.
How do you know when you're vibrating high at the 9? What is it, 9?
You will feel it. There is actually a testimonial on my website, and the woman said she felt like her ass was on firecracker or something. She had so much energy. Yeah. There's so much. This is the knowledge. This is what we wanted to bring to the public.
So when you mentioned that there's people out there who feel like they can, let's say you tell someone they have something on their energy field, they have to get it removed.
Yeah.
You tell them what the steps they have to take, what it's going to be. They decide not to do it. They still have this energy on them, but they think that they can have it removed in some other way. What are some of those common misconceptions of things that rituals people do that think that they feel like they can take off this negative energy on them?
So they say they light a candle and they do it themselves. Okay, good luck with that. Continue in your shit land. Come back to me in 6 months' time when things are still the same. We've had that before. We've had people who have gone to perhaps Reiki healers. They haven't done shit all.
I was telling you, my grandma, growing up, I would see my grandma do little funny things.
There's certain things that you can do to clean your aura.
I saw my grandma throw an egg out the window before. And I freaked out and I called my mom and I'm like, what's happening? She just threw a freaking egg out the window. I was like, that's scared. And I'm like, what is that? But my grandma was like very spiritual and very like superstitious. So
you can ward off like bad spirits. They don't come into your house. Like,
yeah.
all cultures have many different things that
Garlic.
they do.
When my grandma passed away, I found garlic everywhere.
Yeah, there's certain sense that bad spirit. So when we're talking about bad spirits, right? This is where people get confused. So when we leave this physical body and we transition into spirit, if you've done bad deeds during your physical time here, but you've not repented, you will escape the light. You do not want to face the light. So you left the physical body, you see the light, you've escaped it. You've become what we know as a trapped soul, an earthbound spirit, yeah? So you're lingering around. You have no place of resting. So what happens is a bad psychic will pull your energy down. I want to say yours, but they'll pull the energy down and they will use that energy to do whatever they want to do, right? Because that soul still has years to live on. It's got nowhere to go. So when you're talking about warding off bad spirits, that's what we're talking about. Bad people who have done bad here, but they've not repented and they've gone into spirit and they're still bad. That doesn't change. Yeah.
Right.
So it's to ward them off.
So the goal is to resolve all your shit while you're here on Earth. So,
I would highly recommend that.
So that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so that wraps all of the questions. Where can we find you?
You can find me on my social media channels on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on YouTube. This podcast, I'll upload it on the YouTube channel, which is Manifest with a Medium. My website is here below. You check it out. And thank you so much for asking me all your questions. And if you have anything else that you want me to cover or anything that you feel you want some clarity on, just pop it below on the comment section. And it's nice to meet you. Nice to have a catch up with you, Diany, after 2 years. I've seen you.
Yeah, so if you guys have any other questions or if you want to know anything else about Annie, you can go to www.manifestwiththemedium.com. And if you want to see more of me, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram, Diany.Cornielle.
Oh yeah, Diany was on 50 Cent music video as well. Check that out, guys. Check it out. And that's something that I told her. I told her that.
She did.
So 50 Cent. Hire me as your sidekick team.
50 Cent posted me on his Instagram. And I was also on TV and Annie told me that I would be on TV.
50 Cent, I've got 21 questions for you.
All right, perfect.